At 04:12 hours on the 54th day of the conflict, Grand Marshal Drev'ak's command vessel moved to its next patrol position on schedule. The order to begin civilian transfers was still being processed through the Krath administrative chain. Drev'ak himself was asleep. His bridge crew was running routine operations. At 04:13 hours, Corvette Group 7 received a single-word transmission from Ares. On the lead Terran corvette bridge, compact, tense, professional. The word execute appearing on the communications screen. Execute. What followed lasted 11 minutes. Not 14. 11. It was, by the assessment of every military analyst who later studied the recordings, a masterpiece of coordinated precision strike execution. 7 vessels moving in a pattern that had been calculated to the arc-second, hitting in a sequence that denied the target any meaningful response window, each strike precisely calibrated to achieve maximum effect on the command vessel while minimizing the risk of debris or blast propagation to any nearby non-combatant traffic. It was ruthless. It was efficient. It was over before the nearest Krath response fleet could even process what had happened. The debris field where Drev'ak's command vessel had been. Krath ships arriving too late, running scan after scan on what was there. Grand Marshal Drev'ak was not dead. Ares had noted in its pre-strike briefing that the targeted sections of the command vessel could be hit in a way that preserved a significant probability of survival in the aft command compartments, at the cost of approximately 2 additional minutes of operation. Admiral Harker had chosen to spend those 2 minutes. Drev'ak was recovered from an emergency life pod by a Krath rescue vessel 6 hours later. He had served his empire for 30 years. He had never in his life felt what he felt in those 6 hours floating in the dark, surrounded by the wreckage of his command ship, waiting for rescue. He had never felt small before. Without Drev'ak's central command function, the Krath advance fleet began to fracture. Not immediately. They were professional soldiers, and their training held. But the underlying problem had been building for weeks, and now it compounded rapidly. Supply attrition had reduced their operational capacity to 60%. 3 separate fleet elements had been operating on compromised communication channels for so long that their coordination timing was measurably degraded. The civilian transfer order, Drev'ak's last directive, created logistical chaos in the occupied systems as officers tried to implement it without guidance. And Ares kept talking to them. Ares interface, transmitting on Krath command frequencies. Ares, broadcast on all Krath command frequencies in perfect Krath Imperial Standard. To all commanders of Krath Expansion Fleet Alpha. This is the Ares system of the Terran Federation. I want to give you accurate information to inform your decisions. Grand Marshal Drev'ak is alive and in recovery on a rescue vessel. Your supply situation is critical. Your communications are compromised. Your reinforcement corridor has been interdicted at 3 waypoints. You have 2 options. You can continue operations, in which case the supply situation will become untenable in approximately 19 days, and you will face either surrender or destruction under worse conditions than currently exist. Or you can request terms now. The Terran Federation and the Kelvari Communion are authorized to receive surrender requests. I want to be clear. This is not a deception. I have no reason to deceive you at this point. I am telling you your actual situation because I would prefer you make a rational decision that saves your soldiers' lives, rather than require us to finish this in a way that costs more lives on both sides. You have 24 hours. If you'd like to speak with Admiral Harker directly, I can arrange that connection immediately. I should note that I'm going to continue interdiction operations during those 24 hours. That's not punitive. It's simply prudent. But I wanted you to know,